Good afternoon, YouTube. The MT Ninja. Leaving work, and it's a little chilly out today, and I'm still feeling a little sick, but I figured I'd go ahead and hit the button for you anyway. See if we could catch any South Jersey coolness going on, but to be honest with you, I don't think so. I actually had some people try and figure out, or ask me how to figure out apexes of turns, or apices of turns. You gotta feel it. You gotta learn it. You gotta figure it out. It'll take you a hot minute. It's definitely an acquired feeling. You got to get used to it. It's definitely not something that you can't just tell somebody, listen, when you get to 10 feet into the turn, or I mean, it all depends on your speed. It depends on your leaning angle. It depends on your comfort level of the bike, and where you're trying to get to. You want to take your turns slow. You don't have to go racing around turns, but you still want to be able to negotiate them. Get a good lean going. Sure. But you definitely want to. A nice sky today, huh? That's pretty cool. You definitely want to take your time with the turns, and go at your own comfort level. But you definitely, there's a lot of different variables. The lean, or the angle, or the amount of lean that you put on your bike, your speed, where you're trying to exit the turn. If you're trying to shoot out, or you're trying to just make it nice and easy, you got an early apex, a late apex. I mean, it's definitely a comfort level thing. You gotta get comfortable leaning the bike. I definitely, without a question, unequivocally, do not lean this bike as much as I can, or should. Only because I still feel that I'm too new, and I'm not that comfortable, I'm not that trusting of tires, to be honest with you. Take this parking lot real fast, just because there's a couple of turns in here. So, like with this turn, it's a regular 90-degree turn. Like if you were at an intersection, you turn your wheel, you lean your bike, and you give it a little throttle, and keep leaning through the turn. And that's all there is to that. With turns like this, like, you don't want to be out in the middle, because if somebody's coming around that end, they're gonna cream you. You want to take this corner short, but if you want to make this right, you got to start out wide, lean into it, and just adjust. Now remember, you don't accelerate. You can't accelerate going into a turn. You should not decelerate. You shouldn't lose speed. The simplest way to remember it is, if you have speed, you have traction. You have balance. If you don't have speed, you're not going to have traction. You definitely have to. You definitely have to have momentum to lean your bike. Otherwise, your bike's just going to fall off to the side on you. Wow, man. Maybe I shouldn't have taken this parking lot. Well, I got out there. Scared the hell out of this lady. But you definitely don't need to. You definitely don't need to decelerate through a turn. If you decelerate, you're gonna get all wobbly, and you're gonna try and keep standing up, and you're gonna lose traction somewhere. Either traction or balance is the way that I try and remember it. So you want to decelerate or get to the correct turning speed going into the apex, the point of the middle of the turn, the part where you're closest to the arc of the turn. What you don't want to do is brake or decelerate going into the turn, and then when you're halfway through that turn, when you hit the apex of the turn, continue to decelerate. You're going to lose your traction and or your balance, and you're going to wind up either sliding out or just not making your turn. What I found when I first started was that if you have the wrong entry speed or the wrong entry angle, the point of entry into the turn, you're going to wind up going wide. So if say you're at a regular, you're coming down this road and you want to make a rolling right-hand turn, meaning that there's no stoplight, there's no stop sign. You're just going to, roll in and make a right-hand turn. I was going in too quickly and then attempting to brake as I was going through the turn. And what would happen is I would wind up going into oncoming traffic. I would swing out too far, and I'd be in the oncoming lane. And that's something you definitely don't want to do. That's something you want to definitely try and avoid as much as possible. But with nice simple turns, you just counter steer a little bit, get a good lean on it, and how you doing, guy? And then yeah, see, that's the South Jersey wave I was telling you about. Somebody was saying that it's a modified Harley wave. These Harley guys, like I said in an earlier video, I think they try and be nonchalant, just kind of hold their hand out there and peace out, or how you doing. And that's pretty much what everybody in Jersey does on a bike. There's no real flamboyant "Hi, how you doing?" It's kind of just you stick your hand out there and you go, "Hey, how are you?" So it's pretty nice to know that. No. Oh yeah. Tip number 47 for riding a motorcycle. Every time you start this engine up and you saddle this horse, every single time, assume that every single one of these cars and trucks on the road is trying to kill you. The first time I heard that, I was like, no, that's so paranoid. There's no reason to think like that. You know what? There is. Because I've had people in parking lots, in a parking lot of a Wawa or 7-Eleven or Kmart or whatever, and I swear to God, they will look right at you and still turn their wheel into you. And it's not like they're purposefully trying to hit the guy on the motorcycle. You have to think of it as when everybody was taught how to drive. Yeah, stop sign. When everybody was taught how to drive, they were told to look before they turn, make sure there's no pedestrians or other cars in the way. And nobody was ever taught to check for scooters or mopeds or motorcycles or bicycles. And that's why so many people on two-wheeled vehicles or even their feet get hit by cars, trucks, and buses and whatnot, is because in their brain they're taught to look for cars, not to look for motorcycles. So a good rule of thumb is every time you get on a motorcycle or a bicycle or you're walking anywhere near the street, pretend like it's a video game and each one of these cars out here are trying to hit you. They're trying to knock you down and kill you, because that's one tip that will always keep you alive. As my father used to tell me when I was learning how to drive a car, always assume that the other guy is going to do something wrong. Not that you don't know what you're doing, not that the other guy doesn't have skill. Always just assume that they're going to do the wrong thing. That they're going to brake at the wrong time, they're going to take off when you don't think so, they're going to turn instead of going straight. That guy with his blinker on for the next couple of miles is actually going to turn sometime. Always assume they're going to do something wrong. And if you do that, you'll most likely survive a long time. Be safe out there.